Track 2. 1,
Where do you live?
2,
How many brothers and sisters have you got?
3,
Why are you studying English?
4,
Which other languages can you speak?
5,
What's your favourite restaurant or cafe?
6,
What did you do last New Year's Eve?
7,
What are you going to do next weekend?
Track 3.
Restaurant. Children. Fashion. Company. Unemployed. Office. Airline. Multinational.
Track 4.
Factory. Teenagers. Disabled. Hospital. Engineering. Volunteers. Hotel. Advertising. Agency.
Track 5.
Work in a restaurant. Work in an office. Work in a factory. Work in a hospital. Work in a hotel. Work for a fashion company. Work for an airline. Work for a multinational. Work for an engineering company. Work for an advertising agency. Work with children. Work with unemployed people. Work with teenagers. Work with disabled people. Work with volunteers.
Track 6.
Gary, you spend over 4 hours a day commuting from York to London, a distance of about 200 miles.
Yes, that's right.
And it costs you nearly £10,000 a year. Why do you do it?
Well, my wife and I were both born in York, and most of our family and friends still live there. And we like the quality of life in York. It's quieter than London, and the people are friendlier.
So tell me about your journey.
Well, it takes about 2 hours to get to London by train. I leave home at 6:45 and I'm usually at my desk by 9:30. I get back home at about 8:30.
And you do this 5 days a week?
Yes, that's right.
And what do you do on the train?
Well, all the trains have Wi-Fi, of course, so I answer emails and chat to friends and things.
Sarah, why do you work in London but live in Paris?
Well, I moved to Paris 4 years ago to work for a fashion designer, and I really fell in love with the city. So when I got this job in London, I decided to stay in Paris and commute. Also, I've got a French husband now, and he doesn't want to live in London.
So do you travel to and from London every day?
Oh no, I go there and back twice a week. I stay with my sister when I'm in London.
Do a lot of other people commute to London?
Oh yes, I think so. Somebody told me that about 50% of the people who travel from Paris to London on Eurostar are commuters, so I'm certainly not the only one.
Luke, it's nearly 900 miles from Krakow to London. Why do you live so far away from your job?
Well, my wife's Polish, so that's the main reason, really. We lived in London for a few years, but flats are really expensive. So last year we moved to Krakow and bought a flat there instead.
Is it very expensive to commute from Krakow?
No, not really, because you can get really cheap flights if you buy tickets in advance. A return flight usually costs about £50. I leave home on Monday morning and get back late on Thursday evening.
And how long does your journey to work take?
About 4 hours door to door.
Track 7.
A new survey on the free time and shopping habits of British people is published this week, and it shows that we still love football, going to pubs, watching TV and eating fish and chips. Here are some of the results from the survey. The British are always happy when they're socialising. 55% of men and 44% of women go to a bar or pub with their friends every week. About 30% of adults go to a festival or a concert at least once a year, and 20% go to the theatre. About 25% go to a museum or an art gallery. British people generally watch TV for about 4 hours every day, and about 45% of men have dinner and watch TV at the same time. The average British person spends more than 22 hours online every month, and a quarter of that time is on social networking sites like Facebook and Twitter. More than half of all adults in the UK do some sport every month. About 15% of British people go swimming, and 7% play football, but 32% watch football on TV once or twice a week. British people normally go on holiday once a year, but 20% of people have 2 or more holidays a year. The most popular holiday destination is Spain. 30% of adults go to a McDonald's restaurant every 3 months, but 46% go to a traditional fish and chip shop. The British spend about £48 million on tea and £56 million on coffee every month. And every British person eats 10 kilograms of chocolate every year, more than any other country in the world.
Track 8.
Excuse me, we're doing a survey on the free time habits of British people. Can I ask you a few questions?
Sure.
Thanks very much. Right, first question. How often do you go to a bar or a pub?
Oh, probably about once a week. I sometimes meet friends in the pub after work.
And do you ever go to the theatre?
Yes, I do. Quite a lot, actually.
OK. How often do you go?
About once a month. A lot of my friends are actors, and I always go to see them when they're in something new.
And how often do you go to museums and art galleries?
Sorry. I never go to museums or art galleries. I don't really have time.
OK, no problem. Right, the next question. How much TV do you watch a day on average?
Let me think. Well, I watch a lot of football, so probably I'd say about 3 hours a day.
That's about 21 hours a week.
Yes, that sounds about right.
OK. And do you do any sport?
Yes, I go running.
And how often do you do that?
About 3 or 4 times a week.
Right. And what about holidays? How often do you go on holiday?
I normally have 2 holidays a year, one in the summer and one in January.
And where do you usually go?
In the summer, I usually stay in the UK, and in the winter, I usually go somewhere hot, like Africa or India.
Okay. And how often do you...
Track 9. 1.
Hello, welcome to the party.
Hi, I'm Natalia.
Hi, I'm Matt, Carol's husband.
Nice to meet you.
You work with Carol, don't you?
Yes, that's right. I'm the new receptionist there.
Do you know David? He's Carol's boss.
Yes, he's my boss too. Is he here? Do you know?
No, he couldn't come, unfortunately. He's away playing golf somewhere.
Oh, that's a shame.
Where are you from, Natalia?
I'm from Spain.
Oh, right. Whereabouts in Spain?
Valencia. But I came over to England about 8 years ago.
Do you go back there very often?
About 3 times a year.
Carol and I often talk about going to Valencia sometime.
Well, if you do, let me know. My brother can show you around.
Great. Thanks a lot.
2.
Hello, I'm Ben.
Hi, I'm Jackie. Nice to meet you.
You too. Are you enjoying the party?
Yes, it's great.
How do you know Matt and Carol?
I live next door.
Oh, right, so not far to come then.
No. And if the party gets boring, I can just go home.
Yeah, that's true.
And what about you? Do you live near here?
Yeah, I do. I live about a mile away.
Whereabouts?
In Richmond, near the park.
Oh, nice. Are you a friend of Matt's?
Yeah, Matt and I work at the same recording studio.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
It can be. And what about you? What do you do?
I'm a restaurant manager.
Oh, right. What type of restaurant is it?
It's an Italian restaurant called La Trattoria on Brook Street.
Oh, I know the one. I've had dinner there once or twice. The food is very good.
Oh, that's nice to hear. Thanks.
3.
Hi, Liam. So pleased you could come.
Very happy to be here, Carol. Great party.
Thanks very much. Liam, this is my sister Amy.
Hello, Amy. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Didn't we meet at Carol and Matt's wedding?
Yes, that's right, you did. You sat at the same table, I think.
Oh yes, I remember. You're a lawyer, aren't you?
Yes, that's right.
How do you two know each other?
Carol and I work together.
Oh right.
Well, I do most of the work. Liam just sits at his desk chatting to people on Facebook all day.
Hey, that's not true. Well, not all the time anyway.
Track 10.
Do you know David?
Where are you from?
Whereabouts in Spain?
How do you know Matt and Carol?
Do you live near here?
Are you a friend of Matt's?
What do you do?
Didn't we meet at Carol and Matt's wedding?
You're a lawyer, aren't you?
How do you two know each other?
Track 11. 1.
My brother can show you around.
Great. Thanks a lot. Oh, I'm sorry, someone's calling me. It was very nice to meet you, Natalia.
You too.
We should get together sometime, with Carol and David.
Yes, that's a good idea.
Enjoy the party.
Thank you.
2.
I've had dinner there once or twice. The food is very good.
Oh, that's nice to hear. Thanks. Oh, here's my card. If you ever need a table, just give me a call. You might get a free glass of wine as well.
Thanks a lot. I'll remember that. Ah, there's Matt. Sorry, I need to ask him something. Nice meeting you, Jackie.
You too.
See you later, maybe?
Yes. See you.
3.
Liam just sits at his desk chatting to people on Facebook all day.
Hey, that's not true. Well, not all the time anyway. Oh, I'm sorry. There's an old friend that I need to say hello to. It's great to see you again, Amy.
And you. See you later.
Yes, see you.
Should we get some food?
Track 12.
It was very nice to meet you.
You too.
We should get together sometime.
Yes, that's a good idea.
Nice meeting you.
You too.
See you later, maybe.
Yes, see you.
It's great to see you again.
And you.
Track 13.
Company. Exercise. Police. Correct. Interesting. Children. Motorbike. Away. Machine. Agency.
Track 14. 1.
Hospital. Often. Commuter. Factory.
2.
Question. College. Doctor. Teenager.
3.
Company. Multinational. Lawyer. Yoga.
4.
Festival. Cinema. Married. Competition.
5.
Actor. Open. Windsurfing. Director.
6.
Station. Banana. Never. Normally.
Track 15. A.
Where did you first meet your husband, Helen?
We were standing at a bus stop and he said hello.
B.
How did you meet your wife, Ray?
We first met when she was renting a room in my sister's flat.
C.
Where did you meet your wife, Colin?
I was travelling back from China and we met on the plane.
Track 16.
Travelling back from China. I was travelling back from China. I was travelling back from China and we met on the plane. Standing at a bus stop. We were standing at a bus stop. We were standing at a bus stop and he said hello. Renting a room in my sister's flat. When she was renting a room in my sister's flat. We first met when she was renting a room in my sister's flat.
Track 17.
I first met Simon when we were waiting for a bus. It was raining and he offered me his umbrella. While we were sitting on the bus, he gave me his business card. but when I got home, I couldn't find the card anywhere. A week later, I was walking to the bus stop after work, and I saw him in the street. He was talking to a woman, so I didn't say hello. But while I was waiting for my bus, a car stopped next to me. It was Simon. He offered to drive me home, and I invited him in for a coffee. That was 22 years ago.
Track 18.
How did you meet your wife, Ray?
We first met when she was renting a room in my sister's flat in Brighton.
Was it love at first sight?
Yes, it was. Well, for me, anyway.
So, what happened?
Well, Claire wanted to improve her English, so she was working in the shop at the museum for the summer. But she said she wasn't practicing her English because most of the people who came to the museum were tourists. So I said, look, I want to practice my French. So let's meet for half an hour every day. We can have 15 minutes speaking French and 15 minutes speaking English.
Right.
So we had lunch in the park near the museum every day and just talked to each other in English and French.
Did you ask her out?
No, I was too shy.
So what happened?
Well, 3 weeks later, her summer job finished, and it was time for her to go back to Paris. I went to the airport with her, and while we were waiting for her flight, I gave her a present. It was an English dictionary. She laughed, and I suddenly thought, what if I never see her again? I felt really sad.
And was she sad too?
Yes, she was. She was crying when we said goodbye. Anyway, she gave me her address and asked me to visit her sometime.
So what did you do?
Well, I went straight home, packed a bag, got my passport, and I took a train to Paris.
Not the same day?
Yes, the same day. And her plane was delayed, so I got to Paris first. When she arrived home, I was waiting by the door to her flat.
Were you nervous?
Yes, I was. But I was also in love. And a year later, we got married.
Very romantic. Was the wedding in Paris?
Yes, it was.
And were both your families there?
Yes, they were. It was a great day.
Track 19.
Was. Were.
Track 20.
In the 1970s, the actor Anthony Hopkins got a part in a film called The Girl from Petrovka. The film was based on a book, also called The Girl from Petrovka, by George Pfeiffer. Hopkins wanted to read the book before filming started, so he went to London to buy a copy, but he couldn't find one in any of the bookshops he tried. While he was waiting for his train home, he saw a book on a seat near him. Amazingly, it was a copy of The Girl from Petrovka. There was nobody sitting on the seat, so Hopkins picked it up and opened it. Inside the book, there were lots of handwritten notes. Hopkins took the book home and read it. That was the first extraordinary coincidence connected to the book, but later there was another. The film company didn't start making The Girl from Petrovka until 2 years later. When they were filming in Vienna, George Pfeiffer, the author of the book, came to visit the actors. He told Hopkins that he didn't have a copy of his book because he lent his personal copy to a friend. Then the friend lost it somewhere in London. Pfeiffer was very unhappy about this because the book had lots of his personal notes in it. After Pfeiffer told Hopkins this story, Hopkins smiled and handed him the book from the station in London. "Is this your book?" he asked. Pfeiffer opened the book and he was amazed to see his own handwritten notes on the pages. It was the same book he lent his friend 2 years earlier.
Track 21.
And. To. Of. Was. Were. From. From.
Track 22.
Hi, are you Jackie?
Yes. Hello. You must be Damon.
Yes, nice to meet you.
You too. I'm a bit nervous, actually.
Yes, so am I. Would you like another coffee?
Yes, please. A cappuccino.
Would you like anything to eat?
No, thanks. I'm not hungry.
Nor am I. I'll go get the coffees then.
Thank you.
Here you are.
Thank you.
So, Jackie, what sort of things are you interested in?
Well, I really love cooking.
So do I. And what kind of things do you cook?
I cook a lot of Japanese food. I actually went to Japan last year.
What a coincidence. So did I. Where did you go?
I went to Kyoto.
What was it like?
It was incredible. The people are so polite and friendly. And you? Where did you go?
I was in Tokyo. I had a great time. I didn't want to come home.
No, nor did I. But did you have problems with the language?
No, I can speak a bit of Japanese.
Ah, I can't. I really want to learn, though.
There are some good Japanese courses online.
I know, but I prefer classes because I like going out and meeting people.
Do you go out a lot then?
Not really. I manage a restaurant, so I don't go out much in the week.
Nor do I. I often work in the evenings too.
You're a piano teacher, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
I'd love to play the piano.
Have you got a piano?
No.
Well, that is a bit of a problem.
Track 23.
Hi. Are you Kevin?
Yes. Are you Jackie or Penny?
Jackie?
Yes, of course. I'm meeting Penny later.
Right. I'm sorry I'm late. I was looking after my sister's children.
Oh. Do you like kids then?
Yes, I love looking after children.
Oh, I don't. I never want to have kids.
Oh. Well,
I prefer animals. I love dogs.
yes, so do I.
Good. That's one thing we have in common then.
I've got a dog and 3 cats.
Oh, I don't like cats. Oh, okay. So what else? I'm quite sporty.
Oh, I'm not. I didn't do much sport at school.
Oh, I did.
But I'm quite a good tennis player.
Oh, I'm not. I hate the game. I prefer dangerous sports.
Well, I also do judo.
Oh, so do I. Maybe we can have a match sometime. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want a coffee?
Yes, please.
Or do you want to go somewhere for a burger?
No, I'm not hungry, thanks.
Oh, I am.
And anyway, I'm a vegetarian. I don't eat meat.
Oh, I do. I love meat.
Well, you're meeting Penny later. Perhaps she'll have a burger with you.
Track 24.
So am I.
Oh, I'm not.
Nor am I.
Oh, I am.
So do I.
Oh, I don't.
Nor do I.
Oh, I do.
So did I.
Oh, I didn't.
Nor did I.
Oh, I did.
Track 25.
I'm not married.
I'm really hungry.
I don't watch TV very often.
I usually get up before 7.
I didn't study English last year.
I stayed at home last night.
Track 26.
Wanted. Offered. Needed. Decided. Moved. Started. Stayed. Visited. Stopped. Opened. Closed. Waited. Continued. Liked. Travelled. Developed. Hated. Learned. Worked. Loved.
Track 27. 1.
I decided on Monday. I decide on Monday.
2.
We worked all night. We work all night.
3.
They like Istanbul. They liked Istanbul.
4.
They stayed at a hotel. They stay at a hotel.
5.
I needed some money. I need some money.
6.
They close at 10. They closed at 10.
Track 28. Rick.
You usually have to speak 2 or more foreign languages to do an interpreting course, and you usually have to have a degree in languages. At the beginning of the course, you have to learn to listen and speak at the same time. At first, you do this in your own language.
Lorna.
You don't have to go to university to become a paramedic. I didn't. I just joined the ambulance service. I had to study a lot and do on-the-job training for 3 years, but I didn't have to pay for it. The government did. It's a great job, but the training's hard.
Bernie.
You don't have to go to college, but you have to do a special course. The good thing is, you don't have to pay very much for the course, but it's a lot of work. A referee has to know everything about the laws of the game.
Track 29. 1.
You have to learn 130 pages of rules.
2.
Now I have a job I love.
3.
You don't have to go to college.
Track 30. 1.
They have to study for a long time. They have to study for a long time.
2.
We have a lot of training. We have a lot of training.
3.
I have to work at home a lot. I have to work at home a lot.
4.
You don't have to go to university. You don't have to go to university.
5.
I have to have a degree. I have to have a degree.
Six.
We don't have any exams. We don't have any exams.
Track 31.
You have to do a special course.
You have to have a degree in languages.
You don't have to pay very much.
You don't have to go to university.
She has to study for 4 years.
He doesn't have to pay for it.
I had to study a lot.
He didn't have to go to college.
Track 32. Rick.
You usually have to speak 2 or more foreign languages to do an interpreting course, and you usually have to have a degree in languages. At the beginning of the course, you have to learn to listen and speak at the same time. At first, you do this in your own language. I had to listen to the news in English and immediately repeat the same words in English. Then I had to interpret the news from other languages into English. The training is stressful and the work is too. But now I have a job I love. I work at international conferences and I can interpret 6 different languages. It's impossible for one person to interpret for more than half an hour, so we have to work in pairs and take turns every 30 minutes. And in that time we have to interpret about 4,000 words. But of course we can't interpret if people forget to turn on their microphones. And sometimes they do forget.
Lorna.
You don't have to go to university to become a paramedic. I didn't. I just joined the ambulance service. I had to study a lot and do on-the-job training for 3 years, but I didn't have to pay for it. The government did. It's a great job, but the training's hard. You have to know everything about the human body. For example, a paramedic has to learn the names of all the different bones in the body, and there are 206 of them. And, of course, we have to be excellent drivers. We have a lot of training for that. But the main thing is we have to stay calm in an emergency. Like the call we had yesterday. We had to help a man who fell off a roof. That was a real emergency. But about 8 out of every 10 phone calls we get aren't emergencies at all. Some people call an ambulance when they should just take an aspirin and go to bed.
Track 33.
She's looking for her first job.
She goes online every day.
She's doing some cleaning.
She needs a real job.
I'm writing to tell you how it feels.
I'm applying for every job I can.
I never get an interview.
People think I'm too old.
Track 34.
Paul, your new book is a collection of articles about people with strange jobs. So we're not talking about actors, sales assistants or cleaners.
No. All the people in the book have very unusual jobs.
Can you give us some examples?
Well, When furniture companies want to make improvements to their products, they employ people to test their furniture. These people spend their working day lying on beds or sitting on chairs.
What a great job!
Not really. Sometimes they have to sit in the same chair or lie on the same bed for hours and hours. Then they have to answer lots of questions.
OK, that doesn't sound very exciting.
Then there are fortune cookie writers. You know, the fortune cookies that you get in Chinese restaurants?
Yes, I know what you mean.
Well, someone has to write those.
Of course.
For example, the Wonton Company in New York makes 4.5 million cookies a day.
That's unbelievable.
Yes, it is, isn't it? One fortune cookie writer told me he takes a notebook everywhere he goes. So when he has an idea, he can write it down. And he has to think in sentences of 10 words because you can only fit 10 words on the bits of paper.
Right.
And another interesting thing, fortune cookies aren't Chinese. They started in Japan in the 19th century. Apparently, they don't have them in China.
Oh, really? I thought the idea came from China. So, what do you think is the most unusual job?
Well, what about a golf ball diver?
A what?
A golf ball diver. Golfers often lose golf balls in lakes. So golf ball divers dive into the lakes to look for the balls.
And what do they do with the balls they find?
They clean them and sell them. In the UK, golfers lose about 20 million balls a year.
20 million? That's amazing, but yes, I can believe it. I lose hundreds and they cost about £3 each. Maybe this is a job for my son. Thank you for coming into the studio today, Paul.
Track 35. 1.
Ah, Carol, there you are. Have you got that report I asked for?
I'm sorry, David. I couldn't finish it this morning.
Oh dear, what happened?
I had to help Henry. He had some problems with a client.
But I need that report for the meeting first thing tomorrow.
I know. I'll finish it now and email it to you.
I hope so. It's very important. Oh, and Carol, I know this is asking a lot, but I invited some clients home for dinner this evening, and my wife phoned a few minutes ago to say that she's ill. Could you take them out for dinner instead?
This evening? Oh, yes, of course.
Oh, that's great. You can take them to any restaurant you like. There are 9 of them.
9?
Yes, they're very important clients. Please look after them.
Yes, of course.
Thank you, Carol. I can email you their names and all the information you need.
Right. See you tomorrow then. I hope your wife gets better soon.
Thanks, Carol. Enjoy the evening.
Two.
Hi, Carol.
Hi, love.
Where do you want to meet for the concert tonight?
Well...
Are you all right?
Yes, I'm fine. But look, it's about tonight. I'm really sorry, but I can't come to the concert. I have to take some clients out for dinner. David's wife's ill.
Don't worry. I can give the tickets to Mum and Dad. They love going to concerts.
But are you sure you don't want to go?
Not without you.
I'm sorry, Matt. And I really wanted to go to that concert.
Yes, I know you did. Another time, maybe, when you're not so busy at work.
Thanks for understanding, love. Anyway, I have to go. I have to phone the restaurant.
OK, see you when you get home. Have a nice dinner.
Thanks, love. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, hi, Jackie. It's Carol. I'd like to book a table for 10 at 8:30 this evening, please.
3.
Oh, hi, Carol. A table for 10 at 8:30. Just one moment. Yes, that's fine. Right. See you this evening at 8:30. Bye.
Excuse me, Jackie.
What is it, Amy?
I have to leave at 6. I'm sorry, but I can't prepare the tables for this evening.
Oh, right. Why?
I just got a text from my mum. Her sister's in hospital and she wants to go and see her. So I have to go home and look after my little brother. I'm really sorry, but I can't say no to my mum.
OK, don't worry. I can prepare the tables. But we've just got a booking for 10 people at 8:30. I need you for that. We're going to be very busy this evening.
I'll be back before 8:30, I promise.
Are you sure?
Yes, the hospital visiting hours finish at 8.
OK then, but get back as soon as you can.
Of course. Thanks, Jackie.
Oh, Amy, one more thing.
Track 36.
I'm sorry I couldn't finish it this morning. I'm really sorry, but I can't say no to my mum. I have to take some clients out for dinner. I have to go home and look after my little brother. I had to help Henry. I'll finish it now and email it to you. I'll be back before 8:30, I promise.
Track 37.
Hi, Bob. How are you?
I'm okay. Look, I'm really sorry I couldn't come to your party last night.
Oh, don't worry.
I had to go to the police station.
Oh dear, what happened?
Someone stole my car. But the police found it and it's fine.
That's good.
Anyway, would you like to come round for dinner this evening?
I'm sorry, I can't come this evening. I have to take my parents to the airport.
No problem. Another time, maybe.
Yes, definitely. I'll call you at the weekend.
Right. Talk to you then. Bye.
Track 38. Stress pattern 1.
Artist. Office. Airline. Language. College. Colleague. Yoga. Concert. Cleaner. Reason. Promise.
Stress pattern 2.
Address. Degree. Campaign. Excuse. Report. Japan.
Track 39.
Politician. Discussion. Application. Government. Collection. Conversation. Interview. Promotion. Information. Musician. Engineering. Argument. Decision. Unexpected. Examination.
Track 40.
What kind of film is it?
Who's in it?
What's it about?
What's it like?
Track 41.
Meet. Met. Met. Make. Made. Made. Spend. Spent. spent. Hear, heard, heard. Have, had, had. Read, read, read. Win, won, won. Wear, wore, worn. Give, gave, given. Do, did, done. See, saw, seen. Take, took, taken. Be, was, were, been. Go, went, been, gone.
Track 42.
I'll change. Honey, I'm sorry and I won't do that again. But I don't care. Should be clear now, baby, you're not being fair.
Yo, I love my city, especially nighttime, neon lights so pretty. Come and get your fame and fortune where you fit in. My fitted cap cocked to the side, I mean business.
Track 43.
Have you ever been to a music festival, Lucy?
Yes, I have. I've been to lots, actually. The last one I went to was in Denmark.
Oh, right. Who did you see there?
I saw R.E.M. and the Black Eyed Peas. They were brilliant. Have you ever seen them live?
No, I haven't. I don't really like rock or hip-hop, actually. I prefer classical music or jazz.
I like some classical music. I occasionally listen to Mozart when I'm at home on my own, but most of the time I listen to rock, hip-hop and dance music.
Right.
And what about you? Have you been to a music festival?
No, I haven't.
OK. And have you ever been clubbing?
No, never. I don't really like dance music or anything like that.
Oh, but listening to dance music in a club is a fantastic experience. You don't know what you're missing. We should go together sometime.
Yes, maybe. And how about jazz? Have you ever been to a jazz concert?
Yes, I've been to one or two.
Oh, I've been to hundreds. Live jazz is just amazing. Have you ever heard of Miles Davis?
No, I haven't. Who's he?
Seriously? You've never heard of him? He was a brilliant jazz musician. You obviously don't know anything about real music. Right, your musical education starts with Miles Davis.
And yours starts with, Fatboy Slim.
Fatboy who?
Fatboy Slim. He's one of the most famous DJs in the world. Don't you know anything?
Track 44.
Been to a music festival? Have you ever been to a music festival?
Yes, I have.
No, I haven't.
Seen the Black Eyed Peas? Has he ever seen the Black Eyed Peas?
Yes, he has.
No, he hasn't.
Heard of Miles Davis? Has she ever heard of Miles Davis?
Yes, she has.
No, she hasn't.
Been clubbing together? Have they ever been clubbing together?
Yes, they have.
No, they haven't.
Track 45. 1.
Have you ever met anyone famous?
Yes, I have. When I was in Mexico on holiday.
Really? Who did you meet?
Robbie Williams. I was so excited. And my friend took a photo of us.
2.
Has your father ever been to a rock concert?
Yes, he has. He went to a lot of gigs when he was younger.
Who did he see?
He saw Bon Jovi 2 or 3 times before they became famous.
3.
Have you ever learned to play an instrument?
No, I haven't. What about you?
I tried to learn the piano at school.
Were you any good?
No, I had no idea what I was doing.
Track 46.
Is it okay if I turn on the TV for a bit?
I've got a better idea. Let's do this quiz. It's about telly addicts.
Me? I don't watch TV very often.
Yeah, right. OK, let's find out if you're a telly addict. Here's the first question. Do you watch TV for more than 20 hours a week?
Well, I always watch the football and the news, of course, and I enjoy watching films.
And you always watch at least one soap opera every day?
Yeah, OK. So I probably do watch TV for 20 hours a week.
20 hours a day, more like. OK, question 2. Have you ever watched TV all night?
No, I don't think I have. Not all night, anyway.
OK, next question. Do you ever study or work with the TV on?
No, never. You know I can't work if there's any noise.
And question 4. Have you got a TV in your bedroom or in the kitchen?
No, I haven't. You know that.
Right. Question 5. Do you always have to have the remote control?
Yes, I do, actually.
Yes, most of the men I know always have to have the remote.
Oh, I don't know about that. I spend most of my time looking for it.
Yes, that's true. OK, on to the next question. Do you ever have dinner in front of the TV?
If I'm on my own, then yes, of course I do. Doesn't everyone?
You're not doing very well, are you? Question 7. Do you often download TV programmes or watch them online?
Well, I don't download programs very often, but I watch a lot of programs online. You know, when I'm away from home or in a hotel.
So that's a yes. OK, last one. Have you ever missed something important because you wanted to watch TV?
Yes. Once. A few years ago, I didn't go to a friend's wedding because I wanted to watch a football match.
Tim?
But it was the World Cup final.
Right. And that's more important than a wedding, is it?
Oh, do I really have to answer that? So, how did I do?
Well, you get 1 point for each tick, so that's, let's see.
Track 47.
Exciting. Excited.
Relaxing. Relaxed.
Tiring. Tired.
Boring. Bored.
Interesting. Interested.
Surprising. Surprised.
Frightening. Frightened.
Annoying. Annoyed.
Worrying. Worried.
Track 48.
That was lovely.
Yes, that was really delicious. Thanks, Carol.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. But I didn't do it all. Matt helped too.
Well, I only did the vegetables.
And he's going to do all the washing up.
Oh, am I? That's news to me.
So, Amy, I hear you want to go to university next year.
Well, I'm not sure I do now. The fees are really high and I can't afford it. And anyway, I don't think I should have to pay. I think university should be free for everybody.
Well, that's one way of looking at it. What do you think, Jackie?
I agree with Amy. Schools are free, so why aren't universities? That's why we pay our taxes, isn't it? I think all education should be free.
I'm not sure about that. Everyone knows graduates get better jobs, which means they get higher salaries. So I think they should pay something for their education.
I'm sorry, I don't agree. We didn't have to pay university fees, Matt. So why should Amy?
That's true, but we were at university a long time ago.
Yeah, about 50 years ago, wasn't it?
Not quite that long. And anyway, there are a lot more people at university now. The government can't afford to pay for everyone.
Maybe you're right. But I think they should pay for people who can't afford to go to university.
What about you, Ben? Do you think students should pay?
No, definitely not. The government can always find ways to pay for wars or to help the banks, so why can't they afford to pay for our education system?
Exactly.
So you're saying that universities are only for rich people these days?
Yes, I think so. Rich parents will always send their kids to university, but most young people don't want to be thousands of pounds in debt at the end of their course.
What do you think, Amy? Do you agree with that?
Yes, definitely. Most of my friends from school haven't gone to university because their families can't afford it.
Well, they can always get student loans. And they don't have to start paying any of the money back until they leave university and get a good job. So maybe you should get a student loan, Amy.
No, I don't think so. I don't want to finish university and find that I'm £40,000 in debt. I'd rather carry on working at the restaurant.
Yeah, I can understand that. I started work at 16 and I've done okay. You don't need to be a graduate to get a good job.
That's true. I didn't go to university either. But then I did fail most of my exams at school.
Okay, so who wants some dessert?
Track 49.
What do you think, Jackie?
I agree with Amy.
I'm not sure about that.
I'm sorry, I don't agree.
Maybe you're right.
What about you, Ben?
Do you think students should pay?
No, definitely not.
Yes, I think so.
Do you agree with that?
Yes, definitely.
No, I don't think so.
Track 50. 1,
Hat. Hate.
2,
Win. Wine.
3,
Not. Note.
Track 51. A,
Plan. Actor. Chat.
A,
Plane. Date. Game.
I,
Bit. Slim. Written.
I,
Bite. Realize. Right.
O,
Hot. Shot. Stop.
O,
Bone. Smoke. Wrote.
Track 52.
Flat. Postcode. Swim. Exercise. Cost. Decide. Decision. Place. Phone.
Track 2. 1,
I stay. I'll stay.
2,
You have. You'll have.
3,
We go. We'll go.
4,
They have. They'll have.
5,
I want. I won't.
Track 3. 1,
I'll stay at home all day.
2,
They'll have their own families.
3,
We have 2 children.
4,
I'll speak English fluently.
5,
We won't be in England.
6,
I want to have children.
Track 4. 1,
In 2030, well, I'll probably be married and I want to have children, but I only want girls. I don't like boys very much. They're stupid. My husband will go out to work and I'll stay at home all day and watch TV. And we'll have lots of horses.
2.
Well, we won't be in England, that's for sure. In 2030, we'll have a house somewhere hot like Spain or France. We have 2 children, you see, so we can't move now. But they'll have their own families by then, so we can live wherever we want.
3.
At the moment, I'm doing a degree in engineering. So in 2030, I'll probably be an engineer for a big company or something like that. Or I might be a teacher, but at a university, not a school. And maybe I'll speak English fluently by then.
4.
Well, I'll be 67, so I'll be a bit fatter, perhaps, and I won't have much hair.
I think I'll be old and grey. I'll probably look like my mother.
You look like your mother now.
Hey! Oh, and I'll have a new husband.
Track 5.
I'll stay at home all day.
We'll have lots of horses.
They'll have their own families.
I'll probably be an engineer.
We won't be in England.
I won't have much hair.
I might be a teacher.
I'll speak English fluently.
Track 6. Ryan.
We're going to drive across the USA. We're planning to spend about 6 months traveling, and I'm sure we'll have a fantastic time.
Derek.
I'm hoping to retire before I'm 50, but I'm not going to stay in this country. I want to live abroad, somewhere that's hot all year.
Heidi.
I'm looking forward to spending more time in the garden. I'm thinking of doing a course in wildlife photography, and I'd like to go to Africa next year.
Track 7. 1. Ryan.
We're going to buy a camper van and drive from San Francisco to New York. We're hoping to visit some old friends on the way, and Meryl's thinking of writing a blog about our journey.
2. Derek.
I'm planning to buy a house by the sea, either in Thailand or Barbados, and I'm looking forward to getting up late every day. I'm hoping to spend every afternoon at the beach, and I'd like to learn how to dive.
3. Heidi.
I'm going to buy a new camera, and I'm looking forward to learning how to take photos of animals in the wild. I'm also thinking of going on holiday to Uganda. I want to meet a gorilla face to face.
Track 8.
Writing a blog. Meryl's thinking of writing a blog.
Buy a house by the sea. I'm planning to buy a house by the sea.
Getting up late every day. I'm looking forward to getting up late every day.
Spend every afternoon at the beach. I'm hoping to spend every afternoon at the beach.
Learn how to dive. I'd like to learn how to dive.
Buy a new camera. I'm going to buy a new camera.
Meet a gorilla face to face. I want to meet a gorilla face to face.
Track 9. A.
I'm going to buy a new camera.
B.
We're going to buy a camper van.
Track 10. A.
We're going to drive across the USA.
B.
He's going to live abroad.
C.
I'm going to write a blog.
D.
They're going to have a great time.
E.
She's going to retire next year.
F.
When are you going to retire?
Track 11.
Today on Wildlife World, we're talking to John Burton, the director of the Worldland Trust, who's here to talk about elephants in Asia. First of all, John, there's something I'd like to ask you. How can you tell the difference between an African and an Asian elephant?
Well, African elephants are bigger than Asian elephants, and they also have larger ears.
OK.
Interestingly, an African elephant's ears are like a map of Africa, and an Asian elephant's ears are like a map of India.
Really? That's amazing. And how many of these animals are there in the wild?
Well, there are about 500,000 African elephants, but only about 50,000 Asian elephants.
And is it true that elephants never forget?
Well, I'm not sure about that, but they do have very good memories.
Track 12.
Today on Wildlife World, we're talking to John Burton, the director of the Worldland Trust, who's here to talk about elephants in Asia. First of all, John, there's something I'd like to ask you. How can you tell the difference between an African and an Asian elephant?
Well, African elephants are bigger than Asian elephants, and they also have larger ears.
OK.
Interestingly, an African elephant's ears are like a map of Africa, and an Asian elephant's ears are like a map of India.
Really? That's amazing. And how many of these animals are there in the wild?
Well, there are about 500,000 African elephants, but only about 50,000 Asian elephants.
And is it true that elephants never forget?
Well, I'm not sure about that, but they do have very good memories.
So, what are the main problems facing elephants in Asia?
Well, it's the usual story, I'm afraid. The forests and other areas of land where elephants live are getting smaller because people are cutting down all the trees. One of the biggest problems is that elephants walk from place to place along paths that their families have used for hundreds of years.
Right.
But if people build a village on one of these paths, the elephants will walk straight through it.
And of course, this causes a lot of problems for the villagers.
Yes, because the elephants eat the food that the villagers are growing, and sometimes they also destroy their homes. In the elephants' heads, it's still their land, you see.
And how can we solve this problem?
Well, the best way is to make what we call elephant corridors. The Worldland Trust works with the villagers to protect the areas of land where the elephants walk. This means that the elephants can travel from place to place without meeting any people.
And what about the people who live in these areas?
We build them new villages, away from the elephant corridor.
And do the people want to move?
Oh, yes, definitely. The people in the villages are very happy to move to a place that is safer for them and their families.
So elephant corridors are good for people and for elephants.
Yes, indeed.
Well, it's good to hear a positive story about wildlife. Thank you for talking to us, John.
My pleasure.
Track 13.
OK, shall we start? Right, thanks for coming. As you know, this year we're raising money for the Worldwide Fund for Nature's Gorilla Conservation Project. Right, we haven't got a lot of time, so let's decide who does what. The first thing is, who's going to organise the tickets?
I'll do that, if you like.
Yes, that'd be great. Thanks, Carol.
How many do you think we'll need?
Oh, about 100.
And how much should they cost?
How about £10 each?
Yes, that sounds about right. 100 tickets at £10 each. Great.
Shall I make some posters?
Yes, that's a good idea. Where shall we put them?
Well, we can put them up in all the offices and maybe in some local shops and restaurants.
Could you give me a hand with that?
Yes, of course. I know some of the local businesses. I'll ask them.
Great, so that's the tickets and the posters. We'll also need lots of tables and chairs. Liam, will you organise that?
Yes, of course. I know someone who organises weddings.
OK, but remember, we can't pay anyone. It's for charity.
Yes, don't worry. I'll ask him if we can have them for free.
Great. And what about the food and drink?
Do you want me to do that?
Yes, if you don't mind.
Well, we don't want Liam doing the cooking. Everyone will be ill.
Hey!
OK, what else? What about music?
Why don't we ask Jason? He's in a really good jazz band. They could play while people are eating.
Yes, good idea. Right, what else?
Who's going to write the questions?
Ah, yes, that was next on my list. Can you do that, Liam?
Sure, no problem. I love doing quizzes.
Can I give you a hand?
No, don't worry. Thanks anyway.
Can I ask something, David?
Of course.
What are you going to do?
Well, someone has to be the boss.
Oh, yeah? I know, David. Seeing as you're the boss, why don't you be the quiz master? You know, the person asking all the questions.
Yes, OK, I'll do that.
And of course, you'll have to wear this gorilla costume too.
That's a fantastic idea.
I'm not sure about that.
Actually, I don't think David needs a costume.
Yes, very funny. OK, thanks for coming, everyone. Let's make this the best event ever.
Track 14.
I'll do that if you like.
Shall I make some posters?
Do you want me to do that?
Can I give you a hand?
Yes, that'd be great.
Yes, that's a good idea.
Yes, if you don't mind.
No, don't worry. Thanks anyway.
Shall we start?
Let's decide who does what.
Why don't we ask Jason?
Could you give me a hand?
Will you organise that?
Can you do that?
Track 15. 1. G.
Game. Give. Good. Argue. Grandfather.
2. J.
Jim. Strange. Energy. Generally.
Track 16. 1.
Gorilla. Green. Gig. hungry. Degree. Hungry. August. Guitarist. Graduate.
2.
Agency. Intelligent. Dangerous. Argentina. Egypt. Generous. Orange.
Track 17.
Message. Luggage. Language. Village. Sausage. Manage.
Track 18.
Debbie's more selfish than Millie.
Millie's as confident as Debbie.
Millie's 2 years older than her sister.
Millie's less moody than Debbie.
Debbie's a lot tidier than Millie.
Millie's much more considerate than Debbie.
She's a bit more mature.
Debbie isn't as happy as Millie.
Track 19.
Hello, Dom.
Oh, hi, Charlie. Are you enjoying yourself?
Yes, thanks. But I don't know anyone here apart from you, Jake, and Diana.
Well, who do you want to know about?
Who's the woman in the red dress?
Ah, that's Naomi. She's Diana's best friend from university.
She's gorgeous.
Yes, she is. And she's the happiest person I know.
Really?
And she's married.
Oh.
That's her husband next to her. The one in the blue suit. His name's Eric. He's a colleague of Jake's.
What's he like?
Actually, he's the most boring person I've ever met in my life. All he talks about is work, work, work.
And he's got the worst haircut ever.
Yes, you're right. I don't know why she married him.
Who's he talking to?
Oh, that's Aunt Harriet. She's our richest relative. It's quite sad, really. She never got married because she thought men only wanted her for her money. No one knows how much she has, but she's got the biggest house you've ever seen, and she lives there on her own. She's a bit strange.
Yes, she looks it.
And the guy talking to my brother is Rupert. He's Jake's best friend. Do you know a place called the Bug Bar in Market Street?
Yes, I've been there once or twice.
Well, he owns it. Apparently, it's the most popular bar in town at the moment. You have to queue to get in.
Look, someone's waving at you.
Oh, no. He's my least favourite relative. Hello, Uncle Patrick. How are you? That's my great-uncle Patrick. He's 90 next birthday.
Wow. He doesn't look that old.
Yes, well, he's married to a much younger woman. She's only 76. Anyway, come with me, and I'll introduce you to Naomi's sister. I don't think she's married.
Oh.
Track 20.
She's the happiest person I know.
He's the most boring person I've ever met.
He's got the worst haircut ever.
She's got the biggest house you've ever seen.
He's Jake's best friend.
It's the most popular bar in town.
He's my least favourite relative.
Track 21.
Reliable. Unreliable. Employed. Unemployed. Considerate. Inconsiderate. Correct. Incorrect. Patient. Impatient. Mature. Immature. Honest. Dishonest. Organized. Disorganized.
Track 22.
Hello, Lydia. What happened at the bank this afternoon?
Bank managers. They're all idiots.
Oh dear. We can't borrow any more money, is that what you're saying?
Of course that's what I'm saying. And if we don't start paying them back soon, they're going to close this restaurant.
Oh no. They can't do that.
Yes, they can. And they will. In 2 weeks.
Hi, Mum.
Hello, Darren.
How did it go at the bank?
Oh, don't ask.
Don't worry. Things will get better. And soon.
I hope so. How many customers have we got in today?
6.
6? Is that all? I bet the Angel has more than 6 customers.
Yes, it's full. I walked past a few minutes ago. There were people waiting outside.
Oh dear. If we don't get our customers back, we're going to have to close the restaurant.
That won't happen, Mum. I promise you.
Darren, these are for table 2, and they want a bottle of house red. Come on, hurry up. We still have some people to look after.
Okay, I'm going.
Hi, Dad.
Hello, Trudy. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. Hey, guess what? I've got a job.
For how long, we wonder?
Well done, darling. What kind of job is it?
I'm a waitress at that new restaurant down the street.
What? You mean the Angel?
Yeah, that's right. I'm starting on Monday.
But if you want to be a waitress, why don't you work here?
Because you haven't got any customers, that's why. And anyway, I live with you people. I don't want to work with you as well. Ugh, I have to go. Bye.
I don't believe it. That woman!
Oh, calm down. At least she's got a job.
Not her. Eve King. The woman at the Angel. How could she take my daughter away from me?
Yes, I know. But what can you do?
I'll show you what I can do.
Lydia? Lydia! Where are you going?
Track 23.
Hello, darling. You okay?
Hi, Kathy. Yeah, fine.
Darren, I'm worried. Elizabeth's not very well.
Oh, dear.
Shouldn't you be at work?
Having a break.
You going out?
Yeah. See my cigarettes?
Over there on the table. Where are you going, anyway?
Out. And where's my lighter?
On the table. Darren, what's going on?
Got some things to do, that's all.
You never spend time with us anymore.
See you later, Kathy. Bye.
Bye. Oh, Elizabeth. I'm so sorry your dad's not here with us.
but I am. I'll always be here for you. Now, do you want to play with your toys? Do you?
And here's your receipt.
Thanks.
Thanks very much. Come again.
Thank you. Good night.
Right. That's the last customer. How much have we made tonight? £174. Oh dear. Sorry, we're closed. Oh, it's you, Darren. Where did you go?
Out. Had things to do.
But we had customers.
Thought you could look after them. There were only 6. Where's Mum?
She's, I don't know. There you are, Lydia. Where have you been?
Went for a walk. Needed some time to think. Is Trudy home?
Yes, in her room.
Oh, good. Now, I think we all need to talk about things. Darren, can you go and get...
Sorry, we're... Oh, my...
Nick!
Hi, everyone. How's business?
Nick, darling. I can't believe it's you. Where have you been? Why didn't you call?
And why have you come back?
There's only one reason I'm back.
What's that, son?
To see my daughter.
Your daughter?
Yes. Elizabeth. She's my daughter, not Darren's. Ask Kathy. She'll tell you. I'm Elizabeth's father.
What?
What's happening outside?
There's a fire down the street. A restaurant, I think. It looked quite bad, too. So, how is everyone?
Track 24. Listen to what you expect to hear and what you sometimes hear.
I'm having a break. Having a break.
Are you going out? You going out?
Have you seen my cigarettes? Seen my cigarettes?
Track 25. 1.
I'm afraid he isn't here this afternoon.
2.
Can I take a message?
3.
Shall I tell him you called?
4.
Hold the line, please. I'll put you through.
5.
I'm sorry, he's in a meeting.
6.
Would you like to leave a message?
Track 26. 1.
Hello, KLR Recording Studio. Can I help you?
Yes, can I speak to Matt Robertson, please?
I'm afraid he isn't in this afternoon. Can I take a message?
Yes, please. Could you ask him to phone me tomorrow? My name's David Baxter. He can ring me at the office.
Yes, of course.
Actually, don't worry. I'll call him on his mobile. Thanks anyway. Goodbye.
Bye.
2.
Hello?
Hi, Carol, it's David.
Oh, hello, David.
Are you enjoying your day off?
Yes, it's nice to get away from the office for a while. What can I do for you?
Is Matt there, please?
No, he isn't. He's at work.
Ah, okay. I just called the recording studio and he wasn't there. Oh well.
Have you tried his mobile?
Yes, I have. There was no answer, but I left a message.
Oh, okay. Shall I tell him you called?
Yes, please. And can you ask him to call me back? I need to talk to him about our golf weekend.
Sure.
He can get me on my mobile or he can call me at home this evening.
Okay, I'll tell him. Bye, David.
Bye, Carol.
3.
Good afternoon, ATL Limited. Can I help you?
Hello. Could I speak to David Baxter, please?
Hold the line, please. I'll put you through. Hello, is David Baxter there, please?
I'm afraid he's in a meeting at the moment.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, he's in a meeting. Would you like to leave a message?
Just tell him Matt Robertson called. I'll call back later.
Okay, I'll give him a message. Goodbye.
Bye.
Track 27.
Can I speak to Matt Robertson, please?
Is Matt there, please?
Could I speak to David Baxter, please?
Could you ask him to phone me tomorrow?
Can you ask him to call me back?
Just tell him Matt Robertson called.
He can ring me at the office.
He can get me on my mobile.
He can call me at home this evening.
Track 28.
Matt!
David, I got your message.
At last! Where are you?
Well, I'm just outside my house now, but when you called earlier, I was playing golf.
Playing golf?
Yes, I wanted to get a bit of practice before our golf weekend. I'm going to beat you this time. You just wait.
Well, we'll see at the weekend.
Anyway, what did you want to talk to me about?
I just wanted to check with you about Saturday morning. What time do you think we should leave?
Well, I'd like to be on the golf course by 11, and it's a 2-hour drive.
Right.
So, shall we leave by 8:30, or is that too early for you?
No, that's fine. Shall we go in your car or mine?
I don't mind.
Okay, let's go in mine. I'll pick you up at 8:30. And keep practicing. You need it.
Oh, yeah? See you on Saturday. Bye.
Bye.
Track 29. 1. Ah.
Uncle. Study. Unlucky. Until.
2. You.
Music. University. Student. Excuse.
Track 30. 1.
Cut. Husband. Discuss. Unemployed. Funny. Unselfish. Drums.
2.
Uniform. Computer. Opportunity. Costume. Produce. Argue. Musician.
Track 31. 1.
Funny. Until. Student.
2.
Unlucky. Costume. Uncle.
3.
Drums. Music. Uniform.
4.
Lunch. Usually. Umbrella.
5.
Argued. Hungry. Running.
6.
Tube. Husband. Musical.
7.
Museum. Useful. Under.
8.
Summer. Butter. USA.
32. 1.
I have a question for you, Phil. What are your top 5 films of all time?
That's really hard. Well, The Godfather is brilliant, of course, so that has to be in my top 5. I also thought The Lord of the Rings was fantastic. And I loved the first Terminator film. What else? The Matrix, of course. That's 4.
OK. And what about number 5?
Well, have you ever seen a film called Inception?
No, I haven't. Is it any good?
Yes, it's excellent. I saw it on DVD on Saturday. It's quite hard to understand, but the plot's really good, very original.
What kind of film is it?
It's a sci-fi film.
Oh, I don't really like sci-fi films.
Don't you? Oh, I love them.
Who's in it?
Leonardo DiCaprio, he's very good.
Oh, I like him. He's one of my favourite actors. And he's very good looking.
Well, I'll lend you the DVD if you like.
Yes, OK. Thanks a lot. Maybe I'll watch it at the weekend, but only because Leo DiCaprio is in it.
So what kind of films do you like?
Oh, love stories, you know, Gone with the Wind, Pretty Woman, that kind of thing.
Well, sci-fi films sometimes have a bit of romance in them. Avatar, for example. I thought that was incredible, particularly in 3D. And it was a love story too, sort of.
Yes, it was OK, I suppose. But it was too long, and I got very bored.
Well, what about Titanic? That's a love story, and it was over 3 hours long. And we all knew what was going to happen in the end anyway. I never want to see that again.
No, nor do I. It was just too sad. I cried when Leo DiCaprio died at the end.
So, what are your top 5 films of all time then?
Oh, let me see. Well, of course, there's...
2.
Right. Good afternoon, James. Thank you for coming. Have you come far?
No, only from Wimbledon.
OK, well, I see from your CV that you have some experience of working for a newspaper.
Yes, that's right. When I finished my degree, I decided to go abroad, and I spent 9 months with a newspaper called Business Today in Moscow.
Really? Why Moscow?
Well, I went to the Czech Republic first, just for a holiday, and then to Russia. I was having such a great time in Moscow, I decided to look for a job there. And my experience with Business Today was really good.
Yes, I've had a letter from your old boss. So, can you speak Russian fluently?
Well, I had to learn quite quickly. When I first arrived, I couldn't say anything. Then, when I went for the interview and got the job, the company offered me classes. So now I speak Russian quite well.
Did you have to travel a lot for your job with the paper?
No, not really. I'd be very happy to travel in the future.
OK, that's good to know. Have you ever worked for a British newspaper?
No, I haven't.
OK. So why do you think you're the best person for this job?
Well, my degree was in journalism. I speak 2 foreign languages, which your advert asked for. And as a journalist, you have to be organised and friendly, which I think I am.
And, you know, you have to be a little bit aggressive too sometimes. Do you have anything you'd like to ask us about the job?
Yes. Will there be on-the-job training? And are there opportunities for promotion?
Yes to both questions. There's always training for new employees, and the flexible hours mean that you can do other training courses after work. As for promotion, well, I started in your position and look at me now.
Track 33.
Hi, Josh.
Hi, Esme.
I saw your wife in the supermarket the other day. She told me all about your trip to Australia. Oh, it sounded amazing.
Yeah, it really was incredible. We loved every minute. Particularly the Great Barrier Reef. That was unbelievable.
Yes, I can imagine.
And what about you? Have you got any holiday plans?
Yes, I looked at that travel blog you told me about. You know, the one about the 50 places to go before you die?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and my husband Ronnie and I are going to New Zealand.
Really?
Yeah, we booked it last month.
Great. How long are you going for?
3 weeks. We both really need a holiday. And it's summer over there, of course. It'll be nice to see the sun again. Oh, I can't wait.
So when are you going?
We're leaving on Saturday. We have to get up at 4:30 because we're getting the 6 o'clock train to the airport.
Oh, that's early.
We don't mind. We're really excited.
And where are you staying?
We're staying with friends of Ronnie's for the first 2 weeks. They live in Wellington on the North Island. Then we're travelling to the South Island. We're going on a cycling tour for a week.
Wow, that sounds like hard work.
Well, it's not all cycling. Sometimes we're driving to places in a tour bus and then cycling when we get there. And what about you? Are you having a holiday this winter?
No, we aren't going anywhere. The trip to Australia was very expensive, so we aren't going skiing this year. But my wife's already planning next summer's holiday. Apparently, we're going to Mexico.
Oh, nice.
Track 34.
We're leaving on Saturday.
How long are you going for?
Where are you staying?
We're staying with friends for 2 weeks.
We're driving to places in a tour bus.
Are you having a holiday this winter?
No, we aren't going anywhere.
Track 35.
There are lots of t-shirts.
There are a few books.
There aren't many books.
There's a lot of makeup.
There's a bit of toothpaste.
There isn't much toothpaste.
There's some tea.
There are some towels.
Is there any sun cream?
Are there any t-shirts?
There isn't any coffee.
There aren't any jackets.
Track 36.
A piece of chewing gum. A bottle of perfume. A packet of tea. A tube of toothpaste. A bar of soap. A pair of shorts.
Track 37.
OK, I'm nearly ready, I think.
Wow, that was quick.
Well, we don't need many clothes. It's summer over there, remember?
Are you taking any sun cream?
No, I'm not. We can get some in New Zealand. I suppose you're taking lots of pairs of shoes.
Yes, and these sandals. Is that a problem?
Well, only because I'll probably have to carry them.
No, you won't. I can carry my own suitcase.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that one before. What else are you taking?
Well, I'm taking my swimming costume, of course, and a few books. I like reading when I'm on holiday.
Books are heavy. How many are you taking?
Oh, not many. Ronnie, have you got any room in your suitcase?
Why?
There are a few things I can't get in mine. Can I put them in yours?
Such as?
Let's see. My sun hat?
Okay.
My walking boots?
Right.
And a few t-shirts.
Yes, okay.
Oh, and I'm definitely taking lots of insect repellent this time. Insects love me.
But not as much as I do.
Aw, sweet. Oh, yes, and a packet of tea.
Tea?
Well, I can't live without tea, and you can't get good tea outside the UK.
Okay. Where are all these things anyway?
There, on the chair.
What? All that?
Well, I can wear my sun hat, I suppose.
Oh, that makes a big difference. And what's in that bag?
Oh, just some makeup.
Do you need all that?
Well, you know what I look like without any makeup.
True. You should definitely take the makeup.
Hey!
But maybe you can leave the tea.
Track 38. Hostel Selitzer.
When I heard my next job was to stay in a prison, I was a bit worried. But in fact, Hostel Selitzer in Ljubljana, Slovenia, isn't a prison anymore. Now it's a very popular place to stay. It has a good restaurant and a friendly bar, and it often has art exhibitions. All the rooms are basic but comfortable, and each one was designed by a different artist. It felt strange sleeping in a prison cell, but I could understand why everyone loves this unusual place, and I can personally recommend Cell 107. There are lots of things to do in and around the wonderful city of Ljubljana. You can go to the old castle and listen to a concert. You can go on a boat trip on the river and visit the Botanic Gardens. Or why not just go sightseeing? This city is full of beautiful buildings and bridges. And those looking for adventure can go on a day trip to Bled, a small town in the mountains, and go rafting down the Sava River. Or, if you want to stay in Ljubljana, then go to the Atlantis Water Park and go swimming in one of its 16 pools. I went there for a swim, a sauna, and a massage. That seemed the best thing to do after a night in prison. Hostel Selitzer has 20 rooms and they cost around €30 a night. May to September are the warmest months, but in winter there's excellent skiing just 1 hour from Ljubljana.
The Magic Mountain Hotel.
Magic Mountain is an incredible hotel in the Huilo Huilo Nature Reserve in Chile. It's a long way from anywhere, and the journey there isn't easy, but after you arrive, you can go for a sauna and just relax. The hotel itself is certainly one of the most beautiful and unusual places I've ever seen. It looks like a volcano sitting under a waterfall. There are lots of things to do in Huilo Huilo, and I was never bored in the 3 days I was there. On the first day, I went for a walk in the forest. I went with an excellent guide, so I learnt all about the trees, plants, animals and birds in the reserve. Then I went on a trip to Lake Pirahueco, where you can go fishing, swimming and sailing. But if you want a more exciting adventure, go to the Chozuenco volcano for excellent skiing and snowboarding. Then you can relax in the hot springs nearby. And definitely don't leave without visiting the magnificent Huilo Huilo waterfall. The Magic Mountain Hotel has 13 rooms and a double room costs about $180 a night. If you want to go skiing, the best snow is in July and August. For other outdoor activities, the best times are September to November and March to April.
Track 39.
Of. From. Are. And. Can. For. To. Was.
Track 40.
Good morning, sir. Can I help you?
Good morning. I'm sorry, but I've got a bit of a problem. The remote control in my room doesn't work, so I have to walk over to the TV every time I want to change channels. I wonder if you could ask someone to fix it.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I'll get someone to look at it this morning.
Thank you. Oh, and I wonder if I could have some more towels, please. I dropped mine in the bath last night.
Of course. I'll ask room service to get you some more.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Where do I go for breakfast?
The restaurant is just along the corridor on your left.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir. Can I help you?
I certainly hope so. I'm afraid I've got a complaint. I'm in room 102, and it's much too noisy. I'm right next to the lift, and I didn't get any sleep last night.
I'm very sorry to hear that, but I'm afraid there isn't another room available today. We're fully booked.
Right. Could I speak to the manager, please?
Just take a seat, and I'll let him know you'd like to see him.
Thank you.
Excuse me, could you help me, please?
Hello, Mrs. Gibson. What's the problem?
I'm sorry, but I think there's something wrong with the shower. It isn't hot enough. Would you mind sending someone to look at it, please?
Of course. I'll send someone up straight away. It's room 303, isn't it?
Yes, that's right. Thank you very much.
Not at all.
Oh, and we have to leave today, I'm afraid.
Oh, so you're not leaving tomorrow?
No, I'm sorry. I got the dates wrong. We have to get home by this evening. I'm really sorry.
Don't worry. It's not a problem, Mrs. Gibson. Check-out is at 12 o'clock.
Thank you very much.
So there is another room available today?
Yes, there is now. It's room 303. Do you want me to reserve it for you?
Yes, please.
OK. You can change rooms any time after 2 p.m.
Right. Thank you very much.
Good morning, the Station Hotel. Oh, yes, that's the rock band, isn't it? And they're just staying for one night? Yes, their rooms are reserved here this evening. They're in rooms 301, 302, 304 and 305. Thank you. Bye.
Track 41.
I'm sorry, but I've got a bit of a problem.
I'm sorry, but I've got a bit of a problem.
Could I speak to the manager, please?
Could I speak to the manager, please?
Track 42. 1. A.
I wonder if you could ask someone to fix it.
B.
I wonder if you could ask someone to fix it.
2. A.
I wonder if I could have some more towels, please.
B.
I wonder if I could have some more towels, please.
3. A.
I'm afraid I've got a complaint.
B.
I'm afraid I've got a complaint.
4. A.
Could you help me?
B.
Could you help me?
5. A.
I'm sorry, but I think there's something wrong with the shower.
B.
I'm sorry, but I think there's something wrong with the shower.
6. A.
Would you mind sending someone to look at it, please?
B.
Would you mind sending someone to look at it, please?
Track 43.
I'm sorry, but I've got a bit of a problem.
I wonder if you could ask someone to fix it.
I wonder if I could have some more towels, please.
I'm afraid I've got a complaint.
Could I speak to the manager, please?
Could you help me?
I'm sorry, but I think there's something wrong with the shower.
Would you mind sending someone to look at it, please?
Track 44.
Was. Was.
Were. Were.
Does. Does.
Do. D.
Track 45.
Sorry we're late. We were having lunch. Right, do we need anything for the meeting?
Yes, we do. We need these reports. Does Lisa know about the meeting?
Yes, she does.
OK. Were you at the last meeting?
Yes, we were.
Was it a very long meeting?
Yes, it was.
What was it about?
I don't know. I was asleep.
Track 46. Angus.
I live in a lighthouse on the west coast of Scotland. Before I moved here, I lived in Glasgow for 8 years, but I prefer living in a lighthouse. I'm a writer and I enjoy being on my own, so this place is perfect for me. I've lived here for 6 years and don't ever want to leave. The best thing about living in a lighthouse is the view. You can see for miles in every direction, and the sunsets are fantastic. The worst thing is the weather. It can get very cold and windy in winter. But I'm very fit because I have to walk up and down stairs a lot.
Meg.
I live in a motorhome with my husband Larry. We first met when we were living in Houston, Texas, and we've been married for 12 years. In Houston, I was a waitress and Larry worked in a factory, but we both lost our jobs at the same time. After that, we decided that we didn't want to live in one place all the time. We've lived in our motorhome since 2008, and we really love it. It's quite spacious, and we've got central heating and air conditioning, so it's very comfortable. And the best thing about it is that when we need to find work, we just drive to a new town.
Track 47.
What's your friend's name?
How long have you known him?
Where did you first meet him?
Where does he live?
How long has he lived there?
Where did he live before that?
Where does he work or study?
How long has he been there?
When did you last see him?
Track 48.
You know Sam, my new boyfriend?
Yes.
Well, his parents have invited us to dinner this evening.
Oh, that's nice.
And I don't want to do anything wrong. Can you give me some advice?
Yes, of course. What do you want to know?
Okay, the first thing, what time should I arrive?
Well, you shouldn't arrive late. British people are usually on time, as you know.
Not even a few minutes?
Well, a few minutes is okay, but it's a bit rude to arrive more than 15 minutes late.
Right. Should I take something to eat, like cake or ice cream?
British people don't often take food, but we usually take something for the hostess, like flowers or a bottle of wine or some chocolates.
That's good to know.
And when you meet someone you don't know, it's polite to shake hands. British people often kiss their friends on the cheek, but not people they don't know.
Oh, yes, I knew that.
Oh, another thing. You must ask the hostess if you can smoke, and you mustn't smoke at the table. These days, most British people don't smoke, and if they do, they usually go outside.
Right.
Oh, and you should wait for the hostess to start eating first. And you must say you like the food, even if it's terrible. Anything else? Oh, yes. British people like to sit and talk for an hour or two after they've had dessert, so you shouldn't leave immediately after the meal.
Right. And is there anything I shouldn't talk about?
No, not really. You can talk about anything. Places you've been to, work, family, and the weather, of course. But you mustn't ask people how much they earn. British people think that's rude.
Okay, thanks a lot. That's really useful.
No problem. I'm sure you'll have a great time. So, what are you going to wear?
Track 49. 1. A.
You shouldn't arrive late.
B.
You shouldn't leave immediately.
2. A.
You must ask the hostess.
B.
And you must say you like the food.
3. A.
You mustn't smoke at the table.
B.
You mustn't ask people how much they earn.
Track 50.
This is delicious.
Thank you, Isabel.
Yes, Mum's food is always delicious.
Have you been to England before, Isabel?
Yes, when I was 16 I came here to study English. I went to a language school in Bath.
And where have you been this time?
Well, last week I went back to Bath to visit some friends. That was really nice.
And what are you planning to do with the rest of your time here?
I don't know, really.
Well, you should go to Cambridge to see the university. It's really beautiful. We've got some friends there. I'm sure you can stay with them if you like.
That sounds great. Thank you.
And Sam should take you to London to see the sights, of course.
Yes, maybe.
Oh, yes. And you must go on the London Eye while you're there.
What's that?
It's a big wheel, about 150 metres high, and there's a wonderful view of the whole city from the top.
Oh, yes, I know what you mean. We must go there, Sam. And I want to go to Oxford Street to do some shopping.
Oh, no.
I need to buy some presents for my family, and I want to get some new clothes. Maybe we can go on Saturday?
Clothes shopping? In London on a Saturday afternoon? You're joking.
Sam!
Track 51.
On Around the World this week, we're looking at giving presents in different cultures. With me is the travel writer Neil Palmer. Welcome to the programme, Neil.
Thank you.
Now, everyone gives presents, of course. But it isn't as easy as that, is it?
No, it certainly isn't. In some places, like China, for example, it's polite to refuse a present once or twice before accepting it. If you accept it immediately, people might think you're greedy. And you should give the present with both hands, not just one hand.
Oh, that's interesting.
And even opening presents can be a problem. In most Western countries, like England or the USA, people want you to open the present when they give it to you. But in places like Thailand and Vietnam, it's very rude to open a present immediately. You should keep the present and open it when you get home.
And is there anything you shouldn't give as a present?
Well, that depends on the country. In Japan, you must never give anything you can cut with, like knives or scissors, as these are a symbol of death.
Oh dear. That could be embarrassing.
Yes, and in both Japanese and Chinese, the word for four means death, so you shouldn't give anyone four of anything.
In the UK, we often give flowers. Is that the same all over the world?
Yes, but you still need to be careful. In countries like Turkey, for example, you shouldn't give your hostess white flowers. People only give white flowers at funerals. And you must give an odd number of flowers. An even number is unlucky.
I never knew giving presents was so difficult. Neil Palmer, thank you for coming in to talk to us today.
It was a pleasure.
Track 52.
Hi, Natalia. Are you enjoying the party?
Oh, hi, Liam. Yes, it's great, thanks. You weren't in the office last week, were you?
No. I went back to Dublin to visit my parents for a few days.
Really? I've always wanted to go to Ireland. What's Dublin like?
Well, it's the capital city, of course, but it's changed a lot since I was a child. Now it's very cosmopolitan, and parts of it are very modern.
Right.
The city centre is very touristy too, but Dublin is still a great place to visit.
I don't know much about Ireland, actually. What are the people like?
Well, they're very welcoming, and they really like tourists. I think you'd find them very helpful and relaxed.
Does everyone speak English?
Yes, but sometimes the accent is a bit hard to understand, even for me. A lot of people speak Irish Gaelic too.
Okay.
And Dubliners are very sociable. They love getting together in the evenings and having a drink and listening to people playing Irish folk music. And of course, Dublin has some of the best pubs in the world. Do you know Guinness, our famous black beer?
Yes, I've had Guinness here in England.
Ah, but English Guinness is not like Irish Guinness. And of course, Irish whiskey is very famous too.
And what's the food like?
Well, you get the same food as you do in the UK most of the time, but we also have some very tasty Irish dishes. Do you know Irish stew?
No, what's that?
It's made of lamb, potatoes, carrots and onions, all cooked together. You often get it in the pubs at lunchtimes. It's really delicious, and it's quite healthy too.
Sounds good. And what's the weather like?
Well, it's often wet and windy. Ireland is famous for its rain, and in winter it's freezing, of course. But on a sunny day, there's no better place in the world.
So when is the best time to visit?
Well, the weather in July and August is usually quite good. But probably the best time to visit is around St. Patrick's Day, which is on March 17th.
Okay. What happens then?
In Dublin, there's St. Patrick's Festival, which is brilliant. Everyone in the city wears green, and it's basically one long party for 3 days and nights.
That sounds fun. I really must go.
You'll have a fantastic time, I promise. Hey, would you like to see some photos of Dublin?
Yes, that would be great.
I've got some on my mobile phone, I think.
Track 53.
What's the city like?
What are the people like?
What's the food like?
What's the weather like?
Track 54. 1. W.
Go on. To Italy. You ever.
2. Y.
The end. My aunt. Stay in.
3. R.
For ages. For about. Over 80.
Track 55.
What happens at the end of the film?
They all go on a trip to Italy.
Have you ever been to England?
Yes, my aunts lived there for ages.
Who's the oldest person in your family?
My uncle. He's over 80.
How long has she been at the agency?
For about 7 or 8 years.
Do you always go out on Sundays?
No, we often stay in and watch TV.
Track 2.
I lose my job. If I'm late again, I lose my job.
We won't get there in time. If we don't leave soon, we won't get there in time.
If you get a taxi, you'll be okay if you get a taxi.
We'll miss the plane. If we don't get there by 5, we'll miss the plane.
If we're too late, what will we do if we're too late?
I'll take you out for dinner instead. If we don't find them, I'll take you out for dinner instead.
Track 3. Jim.
Now, what else do I have to do? OK, I won't leave the office until I finish this report. I need that for the meeting in Rome. Right, what's next? Oh, yes, I need some euros. OK, as soon as I finish the report, I'll go to the bank. They'll still be open, I think. If not, I'll get some at the airport. Right. Tickets. Oliver organised the tickets. I'll call him when I get home just to check everything's OK. And I'll phone the hotel to check our reservations after I talk to him. What time do I have to be at the airport? Oh, wow, that's early. I think I'll pack before I go to bed. OK, that's everything, I think. Now, where's that report?
Track 4. Anna.
Well, my life has changed completely, of course. After Tom was born, I was quite depressed for a few weeks, but I'm less stressed about things now. Martin helps when he's home, but I get upset when he says he's got too much work to do. I have to work 24 hours a day. Tom isn't sleeping well at the moment, so I never get enough sleep, and then I don't have enough energy to do anything. Now I'm at home all the time with the baby. It can be quite lonely. I haven't been out with my friends since Tom was born, so I don't really have a social life. But I'm never bored. I've always got too many things to do, and there isn't enough time to do them all. But there are lots of good things about being a mum too. I was very excited when Tom smiled for the first time, and I love watching him sleep. But I don't want any more children. I think one child is enough.
Martin.
Life's changed a lot since Tom was born, but I don't mind. I'm just pleased that he's a healthy baby. It's been harder for Anna, I think, and Tom wakes up a lot in the night, so neither of us is getting much sleep. Also, we don't really have a social life together anymore, because Anna's usually too tired to go out in the evening. I sometimes go out with friends from work, but I feel a bit guilty, so I try not to get home too late. At least I earn enough money for the whole family, so we don't have to worry about that. Anna would like to move to a bigger house, but I think this place is big enough for us, for now anyway. And the good things? Well, I love watching Tom's face. He's not old enough to talk, but he makes some funny faces. Yes, I love being a dad. And I think Tom's the most beautiful baby in the world.
Track 5.
Get home too late. I try not to get home too late.
Too much work to do. He's got too much work to do. Too many things to do. I've always got too many things to do.
Not old enough to talk. He's not old enough to talk.
Enough energy to do anything. I don't have enough energy to do anything.
Enough money for the whole family. I earn enough money for the whole family. Big enough for us. I think this place is big enough for us.
Track 6.
A new couple have moved in next door.
Their parties go on all night.
Their friends turn up at 2 in the morning.
They tell me to go away.
I've had to give them up.
I take off my coat.
I sit down in front of the TV.
I can't put up with the noise any longer.
I get on well with all my other neighbours.
I don't want to go back to my parents' house.
Track 7.
And we'll have more about that story later in the programme. A new report out today says that one of the biggest causes of stress is our neighbours. So we sent our reporter, Mandy Stevens, to find out what the public think.
Excuse me, can I ask you if you get on well with your neighbours?
Oh, yes, definitely. I've got fantastic neighbours. Well, they're friends really, not just neighbours. We often, go round to visit each other for a coffee and just talk about the day. And when I go away for the weekend, they always look after my cats, which is really useful.
Well, I kind of get on with all my neighbours, except one. They've got a teenage son, you see, and he's learning to play the drums. They're really loud and it drives us crazy. I've talked to his parents, but, they just don't care. We're thinking of moving house to get away from them.
Well, I don't have any neighbours, actually. I live in a big house in the country and there's nobody near me. The nearest house is about 4 miles away. And that's just the way I want it. I like the quiet, you see.
Well, most of my neighbours are, okay, but it's the kids that are the problem. There aren't enough places for them to play, you see, so they just get into trouble. It's not really their fault. They're kind of just bored, really, And you know there's not much to do round here.
Well, in our street there are, not enough places to park. So, people just park anywhere. So sometimes I have to leave my car a long way from my house, which is really annoying. I've got 2 kids under the age of 2, you see, and sometimes I have to carry them quite a long way. So, yeah, my neighbours are a bit of a problem.
Track 8. 1.
Juliet, is that you?
Carol, wow, long time no see.
Absolutely.
What a coincidence. When did we last see each other?
It was probably at that New Year's party, wasn't it? And that was nearly 2 years ago.
Yes, that's right. And how are you and Matt?
Oh, we're both fine, thanks. Matt's business is doing quite well, and I'm still at the same company. And how are things with you?
Well, I'm working at the station hotel at the moment. I'm a receptionist there, but it's only part-time.
Oh, right. Look, are you doing anything on Saturday?
No, nothing special.
Well, Matt and I are having a few friends round for dinner. Would you like to come?
Yes, I'd love to. Do you still live at the same place?
Yes, we do.
What time shall I come round?
Oh, about 8. And bring a friend if you like.
Well, actually, I've just started going out with a guy from work. So, maybe, if he wants to come.
That's interesting. What's his name?
Harry. He's really nice. I'll let you know tomorrow if he can come.
Great. I've still got the same mobile number, so just send me a text.
I will. I'm really looking forward to it. Oh, by the way, do you remember Charlotte?
2.
His name's Vince. We were at school together. He lives in California now.
Wow. Lucky him. Oh, by the way, would you like to come round for a meal on Saturday? Carol and I are having a few friends round for dinner.
Oh, I'd love to, but I can't, sorry. I'm going to London this weekend to see my brother.
That's a shame.
Look, why don't we go for a drink next week after work?
Yes, that'd be great.
Okay, are you free on Tuesday evening?
No, sorry. Carol's parents are coming round that evening.
Okay, what are you doing on Wednesday?
Well, I have to go and see a customer in the afternoon, but I'm free in the evening.
Great. Where shall we meet?
Let's meet at the Red Lion.
Is that the pub on Market Road?
Yes, that's right.
Great. What time shall we meet?
How about 6:30?
Yeah, fine. Anyway, what time is this new band?
Track 9. 1. A.
Are you doing anything on Saturday?
B.
Are you doing anything on Saturday?
2. A.
Would you like to come round for a meal?
B.
Would you like to come round for a meal?
3. A.
Yes, I'd love to.
B.
Yes, I'd love to.
4. A.
I'd love to, but I can't, sorry.
B.
I'd love to, but I can't, sorry.
5. A.
Why don't we go for a drink next week?
B.
Why don't we go for a drink next week?
6. A.
Yes, that'd be great.
B.
Yes, that'd be great.
Track 10.
Are you doing anything on Saturday? Would you like to come round for a meal?
Yes, I'd love to. What time shall I come round? I'd love to, but I can't. Sorry.
Why don't we go for a drink next week?
Yes, that'd be great.
Are you free on Tuesday evening?
What are you doing on Wednesday?
Where shall we meet?
Let's meet at the Red Lion.
What time shall we meet?
How about 6:30?
Track 11. 1.
Earth. Journey. University.
2. R.
Cards. Start. Calm.
3. Or.
Small. Record. Talk.
Track 12. 1.
Work. Thursday. Perfume. Purple. Birthday. Emergency. Services. Shirt.
2.
Art. Cartoon. Car park. Drama. Dance. Bar. Garden. Large. Guitar.
3.
Walk. Before. War. Sauna. Abroad. Fourth. Floor. Board. Always.
Track 13.
This glove was worn by Michael Jackson in 1983 when he first moonwalked. It was sold in New York in 2009 for £250,000.
The first ever Batman story was in this 1939 comic. The comic was sold for £650,000 in February 2010. The previous record for a comic was £631,871. That was for a 1938 action comic with the first ever Superman story.
This Aston Martin DB5 was driven by Sean Connery in the 1964 James Bond film Goldfinger. It was sold for £2,600,000 in October 2010.
This poster was designed for the classic 1933 film King Kong, and it was sold in New York in 1997 for £154,492.
First edition Harry Potter books are now very valuable, particularly if they were signed by the author J.K. Rowling. A signed first edition copy of a Harry Potter book was sold for £15,000 in February 2010.
Track 14.
Thousands of items are bought and sold every day.
Beatles memorabilia is collected by fans all over the world.
This glove was worn by Michael Jackson.
It was sold in New York in 2009.
This car was driven by Sean Connery.
This poster was designed for the film King Kong.
These books were signed by J.K. Rowling.
Track 15.
My next guest is Michael Brett, whose programme, Shopping Now and Then, is on at 6:30 this evening. Michael, attitudes to shopping have changed over the years, haven't they?
Yes, they have. Particularly men's attitude to shopping.
So, how has that changed?
Well, let's take London's first department store, Selfridges. Selfridges opened in 1909 and it used to have a special room only for men. The husbands used to go to this room, sit in comfortable chairs and read their newspapers while their wives did the shopping.
Did women used to do all the shopping?
Yes, they often did. Even in the 1970s, most married men never used to do the food shopping. But now you see men doing the weekly shopping in the supermarket all the time. Nobody's surprised anymore.
And in your programme, you say that before the 1970s, a lot of men didn't even buy their own clothes.
No, somebody bought their clothes for them, usually their wives or girlfriends.
But what did single men used to do?
Their mothers probably did their clothes shopping. But some men's shops used to have a shopping girlfriend service.
What was that?
These shopping girlfriends used to go round the shop with the man and help him to choose clothes.
How interesting. And your programme also looks at how products for men have changed.
Yes. 50 years ago, you didn't used to see skincare products for men. Men didn't used to have anything like that. But now you can buy them everywhere.
So what's been the biggest change in our shopping habits?
Definitely online shopping. Everybody, men and women, buy lots of things online. Food, holidays, music, TVs, and even cars. And with the increase in online shopping, it'll be interesting to see what happens to real shops in the future.
Well, thanks for coming in to talk to us today, Michael. You can hear Shopping Now and Then this evening at 6:30.
Track 16.
It used to have a special room. Men didn't used to have anything like that. What did single men used to do?
Track 17. 1.
They used to sell postcards. They used to sell postcards.
2.
We didn't used to buy things online. We didn't used to buy things online.
3.
I used to go to the supermarket every week. I used to go to the supermarket every week.
4.
I never used to do the food shopping. I never used to do the food shopping.
5.
She didn't used to spend a lot of money on clothes. She didn't used to spend a lot of money on clothes.
Track 18.
Shops used to close on Sundays.
Shops didn't used to sell frozen food.
Most people used to drink tea, not coffee.
Shops didn't used to give you plastic bags.
There didn't used to be any supermarkets.
People used to buy food every day.
People didn't used to have credit cards.
People always used to take their own shopping bags.
Track 19.
Gianni Versace was born in 1946 in a town called Reggio Calabria. Even when he was a child, he loved clothes. When he was 25, he decided to go to Milan to become a fashion designer. And in 1982, he won his first award for being the best designer of women's clothes. He created a new perfume for men called Versace L'Homme in 1984. In September 1988, he opened the first Versace shop in Madrid, Spain. In 1995, he organised a party with Elton John to raise money for AIDS patients. At the party, he signed copies of his new book, Men Without Ties, and gave all the money from the book to charity. On July the 15th, 1997, Versace was murdered in Miami. Nobody really knows the reason why he was killed. But 9 days later, a man was found dead on Miami Beach. The police believe he was Versace's murderer.
Track 20. When you're looking. A.
Would you like any help?
B.
The fitting room is over there.
C.
Let me know if you need a different size.
D.
It's in the sale. It's half price.
E.
Would you like to try it on?
When you buy something. F.
You have 28 days to bring it back.
G.
We don't give refunds on sale items.
H.
How would you like to pay?
I.
Here's your receipt.
J.
Would you like your receipt in the bag?
Track 21.
Right, first I want to look at the dresses.
But you've just bought a dress.
I know, but I can't wear a white dress to your sister's wedding. Would you like any help? No thanks, I'm just looking. Ah, this dress is nice.
Yeah, that's great. Why don't you get that one?
I'll have to try it on first. Excuse me, could I try this on, please?
Yes, sure. The fitting room is over there.
Thank you.
Just let me know if you need a different size.
Thank you. Wait here, Damon. I need your opinion. What do you think?
Yeah, get that. It really suits you.
Is it any good?
It's a bit big. Could I try a smaller size?
What size is that?
It's a 12.
I'll have a look for you. Here's a size 10.
Thank you. Is this better?
It's perfect. You look great. Get that one.
I'm not sure. If I bring it back, can I get a refund?
Yes, but keep the receipt. You have 28 days to bring it back.
Oh, okay. I'll take it.
That's £160, please.
£160?
Your PIN number, please. Thank you. Here's your receipt.
Thank you. Bye. Right, let's go to the men's department. You need a new shirt for the wedding.
But I've got lots of shirts.
Damon, you need a new shirt. This one's nice, Damon.
No, I prefer this one. Have you got this shirt in a medium, please?
Medium. There should be one. Yes, here's one in a medium, and it's in the sale. It's half price.
Oh, good. I'll take it, thank you.
Would you like to try it on?
No, thank you.
You have 28 days to bring it back if it doesn't fit and you want to change it, but we don't give refunds on sale items.
Okay.
Right, that's £17.50. How would you like to pay?
I'll pay by cash.
Thanks very much. Here's your change. Would you like your receipt in the bag?
Yes, please. Thank you. Bye.
Goodbye.
Now can we go home?
Yes. After I've bought some shoes to go with that dress.
Oh.
Track 22.
I'm just looking, thanks.
Excuse me.
Could I try this on, please?
Could I try a smaller size?
If I bring it back, can I get a refund?
OK, I'll take it.
Have you got this in a medium, please?
I'll pay by cash.
Track 23. 1.
Cash. Cake. Cook. Cup. Contract.
2.
Price. Certain. City. Spicy. Recipe.
Track 24.
Celia's coming for coffee after the concert.
That's nice. Is she Colin's niece?
No, that's Lucy. Celia's Colin's cousin.
Celia works at a medical centre, doesn't she?
No, she's a receptionist for a computer company.
She's very attractive. Can you introduce me?
Certainly not. She got married last December.
Track 25.
I've just heard that Rob's in hospital.
He's already had an operation.
I haven't heard all the details yet.
George Webster's just phoned.
Have you transferred the money to his account yet?
Carrie's lost her job.
She's already started looking for another one.
Track 26.
Hi, Carrie. I've just got your message. I'm so sorry.
Thanks, Liz.
When are you leaving?
On Friday. I've already told them I'm not staying till the end of the month.
I'm not surprised. Have they paid you for this month?
Yes, they have. I've just checked my bank account.
Well, that's good.
And I've just emailed all my customers to tell them the news. 4 of them have already emailed me back to say how sorry they are.
And what about Brian? Have you told him yet?
No, I haven't. He's on his way back from Singapore at the moment. I'll tell him when he gets home.
Right.
And guess what? I've just got an email from Phil Taylor in Brighton.
Oh, yes?
He wants me to call him. He says he might have a job for me.
Wow, news travels fast. Have you phoned him yet?
No, not yet. I need time to think about what I want to do.
Yes, of course.
And I've just been online looking for a cheap holiday.
That sounds a great idea.
I haven't booked anything yet, of course, but I'll have another look when I get home. Anyway, I have to go. Here comes my boss. I'll call you later, Liz. Bye.
Track 27. 1,
I've booked a holiday. I booked a holiday.
2,
He's had an operation. He had an operation.
3,
I've lost my job. I lost my job.
Track 28. 1,
She's said goodbye to everyone. She said goodbye to everyone.
2,
I told him the news. I've told him the news.
3,
He's checked his bank account. He checked his bank account.
4,
They had a car accident. They've had a car accident.
Five.
She's got a message. She got a message.
6.
We've transferred the money. We transferred the money.
Track 29.
Excuse me, are you the new person who's just moved in across the street?
Yes, I am.
Hello, my name's Alice. I own the flower shop on the corner.
Oh, nice to meet you. I'm Mary.
Have you heard the news?
No. What's happened?
Well, the man who lives in the big house at the end of the village was murdered last night.
What?
Yes, at the new garden centre.
The garden centre?
Yes, that's the place where they found the body. Jack Miller, he's the man who was murdered, is the owner. And it only opened 2 weeks ago.
How was he killed?
They said on the radio he was shot.
Oh dear, that's terrible. So, you probably know everyone who lives in the village. Who do you think did it?
Well, I shouldn't be saying this, but do you know Barry Clark?
No.
He's Jack's business partner. Apparently, they had a big argument yesterday at the garden centre.
Oh. What were they arguing about?
Money. Barry said Jack was stealing from him. And you don't want to steal from Barry Clark. He's a bit crazy, if you know what I mean.
Right.
And then, of course, there's Ellen, Jack's wife. Last month, she told me Jack wanted to leave her. You know, get divorced.
Oh, dear.
Yes, she was very upset, obviously. Her marriage is the only thing which makes her happy. Especially after what happened to their son.
Why? What happened?
Well, 4 years ago, their son Adam was sent to prison.
Oh no. What for?
He robbed the local post office.
So he's still in prison then?
No, he came out 2 weeks ago. And they never found the money that was stolen.
And I thought Yateley was a sleepy village where nothing ever happened.
Track 30.
Has promised more money for schools in the coming year. And I hear that the Miller murder trial has just ended. Here's our reporter, Alexander Harris.
Well, a few minutes ago, 47-year-old flower shop owner Alice White was found guilty of the murder of Yateley businessman Jack Miller. During the trial, we heard how she broke into the home of Mr. Miller's business partner, Barry Clark. She stole his gun and went to the Yateley Garden Centre where Mr. Miller was working late. She shot him once in the heart, killing him instantly, and then left a single red rose on his body. Then she returned to Mr. Clark's house and put the gun back.
So how did the police catch her?
They found a button near Mr. Miller's body. When a photo of the button appeared in the evening paper, a local woman, Mary Barnes, immediately called the police. She said she was talking to Mrs. White the morning after the murder and noticed that a button was missing from her coat. The police visited Mrs. White's home and found the coat with the buttons still missing.
And why did she murder Mr. Miller?
Well, during the trial, we heard that Mrs. White's flower shop was losing business to the new garden centre. She thought that if she killed Mr. Miller and his business partner was arrested, the garden centre would have to close.
That was Alexander Harris at the Miller murder trial. And now sport. Wolverhampton Wanderers have beaten Chelsea 5-1 in the...
Track 31.
It's 10 o'clock, and here with a summary of today's news is James Humphrey.
There have been demonstrations in London, Edinburgh and other cities around the country today to protest against government spending cuts. Tracy Spencer has this report from central London.
Today's demonstration in the capital was the biggest so far, as people continue to protest against the government's plans to cut £20 billion from public spending next year. About 30,000 people marched from Hyde Park to Trafalgar Square, many of them hospital workers, teachers and government employees who could lose their jobs because of the cuts. 2 police officers and 12 protesters were injured, and the police made 20 arrests.
In Pakistan, heavy rain has delayed relief efforts as the army tries to get emergency food and medical supplies to the victims of last week's floods, which destroyed towns and villages in the north of the country. Over 300,000 people are now homeless, and the Pakistani government has described the situation as a national disaster. Music fans in the UK illegally downloaded 1.2 billion tracks last year, according to a new report by the music industry. The report says that while the number of legal downloads continues to increase, more than 3/4 of tracks downloaded in the UK are from illegal sources. The report says illegal downloading costs the British music industry over £1 billion a year. And in the USA, a man who lost his wallet 55 years ago received a surprise today when his wallet was returned to him. Mr. Goodlove, who is 75 and lives in San Diego, lost his wallet behind the back seat of his 1946 Hudson car. It was found by 2 men from Idaho who collect classic cars. The wallet contained Mr. Goodlove's military ID, his driving licence, several receipts, and a $10 bill.
Track 32. A.
Oh, by the way, do you remember Charlotte? You know, from the yoga course we did together in Thailand.
Yes, of course.
She's just had twins.
Has she? What did she have?
2 girls.
Oh, that's nice. Well, next time you see her, give her my love.
I will. Anyway, I've got to go. I'll see you on Saturday. Bye.
Bye.
B.
Morning.
Hi, Ben. How's everything going?
Yeah, fine, thanks.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Just a bit tired, that's all. I didn't go to bed until 3 a.m.
Didn't you? Why not?
An old friend turned up yesterday evening and we stayed up late talking.
Who's the friend?
His name's Vince.
C.
Oh, Amy, one more thing.
Yes?
Can you work on Saturday? I know it's your weekend off, but Molly's phoned to say that she's ill.
I'm sorry, I can't. I'm going to Berlin for the weekend.
Are you? That sounds exciting.
Yes. My cousin's just got a job there, and it's her birthday this weekend.
Well, have a lovely time.
Thanks, Jackie.
That's okay.
D.
Hello, Liam. Glad you could make it.
No problem.
Oh, by the way, have you spoken to Steve about the national sales manager job yet?
Yes, I've just phoned him, actually.
And?
Steve doesn't want the job.
Doesn't he? It would be a big promotion for him. Okay, well, thanks for telling me. Right, where are the others? We need to start the meeting.
Track 33. 1.
Marcus and Nicola are getting divorced.
Are they?
2.
My brother doesn't eat meat.
Doesn't he?
3.
I'm not going to my niece's wedding.
Aren't you?
4.
My dad played football for England.
Did he?
5.
I haven't told my parents yet.
Haven't you?
6.
My grandmother's 97.
Is she?
Track 34.
Doesn't he?
Are you?
Didn't you?
Has she?
Do you?
Does he?
Did they?
Don't you?
Have they?
Is it?
Track 35. 1. O.
Slow. Grow. Own. Yellow.
2. Ow.
Now. Cow. How. Brown.
3. Oi.
Boy. Oil. Enjoy. Point.
Track 36. 1.
Snow. Window. Throw. Show.
2.
Towel. Town. Shower. Crowded.
3.
Avoid. Destroy. Annoying. Toy. Noisy. Toilet. Disappointing. Employer.
Track 37.
Ian! Ian!
Oh, Uncle Mike! Hi!
Well, congratulations! After 6 years of study and training, you're finally a lawyer. Wonderful news.
Thanks.
It's always good to have a lawyer in the family.
Why? Are you planning a life of crime, Uncle Mike?
Oh, no. Not yet, anyway. So, are you looking for a job?
I've already got one.
Oh, that's good.
Yes, I'm working in a restaurant.
A restaurant?
Yes, I'm a waiter there.
A waiter?
Yes. I want to work abroad, so I need to save some money quickly.
Where are you going?
I'm going to work in Canada.
Oh, so you're going to be a lawyer in Canada?
No, I'm not qualified in Canada, but I'm going to do voluntary work there with some brilliant environmental lawyers.
Oh, helping the environment. That's good.
But I'll be back next summer, so your family lawyer won't be away for long.
Who's paying for all this?
The people in Canada will pay for everything when I'm over there, but I have to pay for my flight. That's why I'm working at the restaurant. I can save about £100 a week.
How much is the flight going to cost?
Track 38.
Guess who I saw in town?
Who?
Ian. He's a qualified lawyer now.
I know. That means he's going to earn lots of money. Has he got a job yet?
Yes, he has.
Oh, that's good.
He said he was working in a restaurant.
In a restaurant?
Yes. He's trying to save some money.
What for?
He said that he wanted to work abroad.
He's going abroad?
Yes. He told me he was going to work in Canada.
Why Canada? Have they got more crime there than we have?
No, of course not.
Well, he can probably earn more money over there.
Actually, he told me that he was going to do voluntary work.
Oh, this is getting worse and worse. After all the money he spent on his studies, and now he's going to do voluntary work.
But it's voluntary work with environmental lawyers. He wants to do environmental law in the future. I think it's wonderful. Well, anyway, he said that he'd be back next summer.
Right.
He told me he could save about £100 a week, but I don't think that's possible. And he said the flight was £600.
Oh, he's wasting his money.
Track 39.
He said that he wanted to work abroad.
He told me that he was going to do voluntary work.
He said he was working in a restaurant.
He told me he could save about £100 a week.
He said that he'd be back next summer.
Track 40.
Oh, he's wasting his money.
Oh dear.
What's the matter?
Well, he said his flight was £600.
Yes, I heard that. But it's his money.
Well, he told me he didn't earn very much.
How much?
He said he was earning £190 a week.
That's nothing.
I know. And I said it was going to take him months to save enough money.
It certainly is.
And he said he was working 7 days a week. I don't think he should work that hard. Do you?
No. I'll talk to him. I'll tell him he's wasting his money and his time going to Canada. What's the matter now?
Well, I told him we'd pay for his flight.
What?
He said he could pay us back next year.
Well, that's okay. We can lend him the money.
I told him it was a present from us both. So I transferred £600 into his bank account.
What? So he's not wasting his money, he's wasting ours.
Now, dear, calm down. It's not the end of the world.
Track 41. Listen to what you expect to hear and what you often hear.
He said his flight was £600. He said his flight was £600.
Track 42.
I'd do it. If I won a bungee jump, I'd do it.
I wouldn't do it. If someone asked me to hold a snake, I wouldn't do it.
If you won a bungee jump. What would you do if you won a bungee jump?
I'd do it.
I wouldn't do it.
Would you do it? If someone asked you to hold a snake, would you do it?
Yes, I would.
No, I wouldn't.
Track 43.
Welcome to Society Today. In the studio, we have Sally Ashton, who's making a new documentary about graffiti called Art or Crime. Welcome to the programme, Sally.
Hello.
Sally, writing or drawing graffiti on walls is a crime, of course, but everywhere you go in this country these days, you see more and more graffiti.
Well, first of all, you say these days, but there isn't anything new about graffiti. In fact, 1,600 examples of graffiti were found in Pompeii near Naples in Italy.
And they were done 2,000 years ago.
That's right.
And what did the graffiti in Pompeii say?
Oh, things like Felix was here, Rufus loves Cornelia, or things like don't drink the wine here, they put water in it.
That's very interesting.
And there are examples of graffiti all through history, not only in Pompeii.
Right. And it seems the messages were very similar to ones you find today.
Yes, that's true. The messages are usually about love, politics and society. Actually, the longest piece of graffiti on record was written by Mao Zedong in China in 1915. He wrote 4,000 characters complaining about his teacher and Chinese society at that time.
Really? But of course, graffiti isn't only written messages.
No. Some of today's graffiti is very beautiful. A lot of people love the graffiti done by artists like Sykes or Banksy. Did you know that in Bristol, Banksy's hometown, the people were asked if they wanted to keep a piece of Banksy's work or clean it off?
And what was the result?
97% of the people who answered the question said they wanted to keep it. So it's still there.
And what can you tell us about Banksy?
Well, Banksy is a very interesting graffiti artist and he's always...
Track 44. 1.
Interview. Confident. Organised. Teenager. Company. Burglary. Salary.
2.
Amazing. Polluted. Delicious. Embarrassed. Excited. Employment. Adventure.
3.
Engineer. Employee. Incorrect. Oversleep. Volunteer. Immature. Unemployed.
Track 45. A.
Intelligent. Traditional. Unfortunate. Considerate. Incredible. Environment. Experience. Security.
B.
Information. Invitation. Manufacture. Documentary. Disappointed. Operation. Population. Unambitious. Unattractive.
Track 46. 1.
You have reached the voicemail of Juliet Holsworth. I'm afraid I can't take your call right now. Please leave a message after the tone.
Oh, hi Juliet, it's me, Sandra. A group of us are going dancing on Friday night. I think we're going to a nightclub called Lucky's. Do you want to come? Some of the girls are coming to my house for dinner first, and then we're all meeting at 9:30 outside the club. Oh, and we'll probably share a taxi home afterwards, so you don't have to drive. Give me a call later. Okay, bye.
Hello, Juliet. It's your father. I hate these machines. I'm thinking of organising a lunch party for your mother's 50th birthday. Are you able to come home for the weekend of the 18th? I'm planning to ask your Aunt Maud and Uncle Jim, and your grandmother will probably come to stay for the whole week. I'm hoping to find a company to do the food. Well, I'll phone again later. Oh, don't tell your mother. It's a surprise.
2.
I used to earn a lot more when I worked for a big multinational company, but I was often really stressed too. I worked 14 hours a day and didn't have any free time. My friends and family were always saying, "You shouldn't work so hard, you should find another job." And so finally I thought, yes, they're right. So, here I am. I've lived in this village for a year now, and I've had my own company since August, so that's about 6 months. I used to worry about oversleeping in the morning or getting stuck in traffic, but now I don't have to drive anywhere. My office is only across the road, and if I start late in the morning, I'll finish later in the evening. My wife is also much happier here too, and she only has to drive to the next village to visit her parents, or get on a train to London to go shopping or to see a play. The only problem is I don't earn as much as I used to, and I owe the bank a lot of money because I started this business on my own. But I'll pay it back as soon as I can. Of course, if I won the lottery, I wouldn't work at all, but I'd still live in the country. I wouldn't go back to the city for anything.